panel discussion, which is titled as The Great Indian Talent Revolution, Tapping Untapped Potential. So I would like to invite on stage our esteemed panel members, Ms. Deepti Mehta, CHRO Interface Microsystems, Ms. Harmeet Kaur, Head Global People Services, Ericsson, Mr. Prateek Dubey, President, Global CHRO, Mankind Pharma, Mr. Varun Sachdeva, SVP and APAC Head, NLB Services. Now please help me invite the session chair for this panel, Mr. Talis Rizvi, CMD and founder, Indian Conventions and Tachyon IT Consulting.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the first session, and somehow I am trapped into it, and we have got a few of the best speakers amongst the who have been lined up for the day. So I'd like to welcome all of you on this panel. Welcome Deepti, welcome Harmeet, Prateek sir, Varun ji, most welcome. So how do we start the session is you guys can have a choice.
Do you want? Before you start, do we really need a session after GP's discussion? Do we really need it? I am so charged, GP, you always charge us. Yeah, can we clap for him once, yaar? A loud round of clap. Thank you, GP.
So with that motivation, I think we, as we discussed earlier, we'll keep it light so that everyone can be engaged, and I'll leave it to the panelists to talk about how the challenges in India are there for the talent management. The topic is the Great Indian Talent Revolution, Tapping the Untapped Potential. So we'll be talking about a lot of people who are in the remotest of corners of India. We'll be talking about educational institutions who are unable to cater to the industry needs, and multiple things hereafter. So just to begin with, I'll start with the lady on my right. That's Deepti. Can you just share a quick intro about your organization and yourself and your talent challenges that we can think of? And that will be a short question. We'll rotate that, and after that we'll start this session.
Thank you so much for having us here. My name is Deepti Mehta. I currently work with an organization called Interface Microsystems. We are an automobile sector. We work in B2B, So if you talk about the technology, we work on our car-based system software in the industry. Just to give you an example, what do we do? So if you might, I'll just give you one example. If you might have seen Mahindra XUV, the entire car-based system has been done and developed by us in India. ADAS system has been, introduced by us in India, and currently if you look at EV, which has been launched in Mahindra 9V and 6E, that has been done by Interface Microsystem. So this is what we do primarily, and our major customers are Tata, Mahindra, Volkswagen, VW, and so on. Once we talk about, so this is about the organization. About myself, I have like 2 decades of experience, worked in different set of industries, started my journey with IT, which was HCL Technologies, moved on to Airtel, then I worked with Singapore Telecom, and then I moved to Lumina Schneider, was there for good 8 years, worked on different roles, and currently working with this organization as a CHRO. This is a little about me. Once we talk about talent, who can, this is the biggest challenge for us. Of course, talent is there, but the scarcity of talent, and especially our kind of industry, is too much today. Once we say why, because the technology which we use, that is from Germany, which we adopt. The kind of technology, because you might have seen the automotive sector, every third month the technology is changing. Today we are in ADAS, tomorrow there's new setup coming in, and the car which has to go out, get launched by 2030, it is there in my premises right now, and working on technology. So entire technology what we get from Germany, and getting that manpower, the trained manpower in India becomes a big challenge. like, some of the, technical things which I don't want to use here, but the technology called AutoSAR, which is pretty niche in the industry. People, those who have come from auto sector might be knowing it. For us, getting the talent is a big challenge. So, because we do not, if we get the talent here, but maintaining and sustaining that particular talent, because the attrition and churn is pretty high in our kind of industry. So what we generally do here is, once we say tier 2, tier 3, we really leverage that. So, academia plays a biggest role here. How? What we do is we tie up a tier 2, tier 3 universities. We go there. We ask them to teach these technology, like, AutoSAR, enablement. There's a technology called Embrace. So, different kind of technologies we ask them to teach, and what we do is we pick up that particular talent from that industry and we make sure that they're working with us. Why do we do that? Because getting one particular manpower or 2-3 particular manpowers, we have to get the training done from Germany. And this one training cost me
Dipti, we all know that you're from HR. you have explained everything, right? Now, is the panel required?
No.
She covered everything. All our points are gone here.
No. You have more to share. So why I'm saying here is this is a challenge, and here people are like, experts sitting out here. They might help me.
Yeah.
So that is
So
the reason
we'll
why
come
they
back.
share
We'll
that.
come back to
Yeah.
all the solutions.
Yes.
The challenge that you spoke about is that
Skilled manpower
skilled
yes.
manpower and new technologies
Yes.
is the current challenge that you
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
With this, we'll come to Harmeet. Harmeet, you are a part of a global organization, and various skill sets are working with you. So, what are your key challenges in India? And I first we'll focus only on that part. What are the key challenges? Then we'll come back on the solutions later. So, just the easiest way of mentioning what the challenges are.
I would say that how do we achieve the talent agility is the biggest challenge. And when I
Okay.
say that, business is changing at a very fast pace.
Right.
If you make a 2-year or 3-year plan, by the time you're half on the plan, the business demands and requirements have changed completely. So we've moved the focus from long term to short term. And there's also a lot of focus on talent agility. When I say talent agility, it's agility in hiring, it's agility in upskilling, it's agility in performance management, it's agility in business demand.
Right.
So it's end to end.
So with this, we'll come to Prateek ji. Mr. Dubey, you come from a legacy industry, I would say, pharmaceuticals. So I don't think those will be the challenges in terms of the manufacturing side. But yes, in terms of R&D and constant developments that you are doing. So what are the challenges in those spaces and the hidden challenges that you might know better?
Okay, I'm by mistake an HR guy. So let me go back and be a business person and tell you the facts. In olden age, we had a Rams team. That means you need to train monkeys, they'll get their goal for you. Then came the Krishna team, who are very smart, who knows their thing, but they wanted to be guided and to be brought to a level where they can get the goals. Now the current problem with us is we need both Ram team and Krishna team, because I was other day talking to someone and they shared with me that you can get anything in this world. No, information and knowledge is like this. So if you talk about talent, it is available at dearth. The only point is getting the right talent. So if on a lighter note, Dipti, till yesterday when I was sitting that side, the problem was to get the solution, right? Sir, today the problem is asking the right question. So you should know what to ask, then you'll get the solution. That's the near generation. And with this dynamics change and the availability of talent, because if you want talent, remember Ram Sena? He has to go to mountains and small towns to collect those people who can go with him and achieve the goal. We have to go there, small towns, get the skills done. They knew you, and only Nalil can make the stone float on the sea. So that was a skill which he got it from there. Today when you come to the Krishna Sena, you have n numbers. I'm not going into that example because then it will be more GP sort of a discussion. But today we have to marry both of them, make the concept and take it forward. That's what I can say. Sorry, I'm not a HR guy like these people, so I can't answer like that.
So with this, we'll come to Varun. Varun, you head, operations, and you have a different set of challenge.
Right.
So I like to understand, because NLB has multiple verticals, and it's a group of companies, and you have different skill sets at different levels which are involved. So how do you all manage that? Because maybe if it is a particular set that we are looking at, we can develop the skill sets there in the, tie up with academia, develop the curriculums. But when you have a very diverse kind of industry, verticals that you're involved with, so how do you deal with those things?
So the biggest challenge what we face is getting the right talent at the right time and at the right cost as well. And then once we get the talent, it's about retaining that talent is what we see as a challenge across the industries we support. So on a monthly basis, we onboard about 1,000 or 1,200 resources for different diversified clients and in-house in India. And what we have seen is the points which have been covered by Deepti and Prateek sir as well, that getting that right talent for the organization to get the job done is becoming difficult day by day. And you mentioned that upskilling, reskilling, we can do all of those activities to make them relevant, but once they become relevant and they stay relevant, they are actually tapped by another organization. So all of these challenges we have to deal on a regular basis, and we are still trying to find a solution. Once we find a solution, we have a new problem to address.
Yeah, that's a perpetual challenge. In some of the organizations are training grounds for the other ones. So I've faced that in a couple of organizations earlier, that you find talent, train them, and they get hired elsewhere. So Prateek, I'd like to ask you this question: that how do you retain them?
Sir, I am totally against at this point. I really don't. Boss, you are training or you're developing a person not for your industry. Be clear. You're developing a person for a mankind. Yeah, my company name is Mankind. And that's the reason I get always a good talent. So my point here is, when we nurture a talent, and practically old HR guys, I'm young, so I'm talking about her. So old HR guys, they will not spend much money. Isko train karenge, bhag jayega. Arey bhagne do, let him become your ambassador. Let him be your brand ambassador. He will bring customers for you. He'll bring consumers for you. You are contributing to your business. Change your attitude. There'll be never a brain drain. My attrition is 4.2%. I'm telling you current.
Wow.
And in pharma industry, it is said to be one of the best. The reason is, I don't want to just train them for the purpose. I say, you want to go, but be a Mankindian first. And that's the culture which GP was talking. I don't say you be a executive. I say you be a Mankindian first. And what is Mankindian? When a Mankindian walks, he will see where the pain is and help you to get off the pain. We make medicines, by the way.
I just want to add a perspective to
Yeah,
that.
sure.
I think I, in a way, agree with what you were saying, Prateek, because I think there is huge focus on retention, and there will always be, because we do want to retain our top talent. But at the same time, we have to be more ready for the gig workforce, the freelancers, people who come on projects, they deliver an outcome and they leave, right? So we have to focus on very fast orientation, very quick training and deployment. So even if someone stays with you for 2 years of productive work, I don't think that's bad that then they leave, because we're also trying to deal with the next set of generation, which is Gen Z, and they don't stay beyond that.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge that all of us have. And I just, if I'm not wrong, Ericsson has a alumni kind of a stuff that you have developed, where people can come back and meet irrespective of whether they join or not. So that's one good thing, as you rightly said, be a Mankindian first. So they are also doing similar kind of thing. Yeah, Deepti.
I just want
please.
to add one point. What they have said is right, but currently, the focus for us is not only retaining the top talent. If I talk about my organization, so what we do is, for us, people from like the rating from meeting expectation till outstanding, they all are very important for us. So rather than people focus on more of the people, those who are performing pretty well, but we perform, nurture the talent which is at meeting kind of expectation, which are ready to stay with you. Every time you don't need a top talent, you need people, those who are sustaining in the system, who have been retained and who want to work more in the system. And that kind of approach has really helped us to, kind of what he has said, like attrition is 4%. My organization attrition is just 8%. Once I joined, it was 22%. So it is kind of course, you give them an opportunity, you give them an kind of training what they need. You make sure that you are just focusing more on the talent which is like kind of meeting kind of expectation. I think they stay with the organization. This is what we are practicing right now.
Right. I would just like to add to that, while there is a lot of focus on talent retention, as an organization, what we have done is we have strategically partnered with academic institutions to build talent for future as well. In the last 1 year, we have hired over 1,000 professionals from different colleges in India. We have invested in research and development projects, and strategically partnered with them in internship and apprenticeship programs as well. And that has been a good talent supply pipeline for us as an organization, to meet the gap what we thought will be really impacting the business.
See, this question just popped up right now. We have been, ever since I started my career, we have been talking about academy and industry integration somehow. How does it work? No offense, but when you go to academic institutions and meet the people who are training the students and all, they too have a disconnect from the industry. So why don't we have some mechanism where these faculty members can be inducted into the organizations, trained, and they go back with a culture? Probably I studied in a college, and when we entered there, we were told that that faculty member is from Marico, and that faculty member, the other one is from one of the largest organizations. But when you interact with them, when we interacted at that point of time, it looked like, okay, such a brilliant guy. But once you are in the industry, those things don't matter, they are just PPTs. So, in our days, OHPs. So those, how do you work on these lines? Even if you give them a curriculum, are they able to do justice? Are they able to actually train well? And the output that you are getting from the institutions, is that good enough for being utilized in the organizations? So, to you, sir. You may take.
Yeah. Where's the problem is? The problem is, in the room, approximately 100 people are there. How many of us has ever gone to an institute or have ever spoken to a professor, even your kid's professor, because I know there are many parents, kids professor, that what is the requirement of the day? I'm telling you, not even one. I'm telling you, not even one. And then people like him come and say, academy and industry is not partnering with each other. That's the first problem. Second problem, intellectually arrived people will sit on this quorum, except me, and talk about academy and industry, but they will never go and teach. Let us ask everyone here, how many of us go to a college and teach? If I want to go to a college and teach, sir, I will go to IIM Ahmedabad. Why? Because LinkedIn mein photo achhi aa jayegi. I'm sorry, social media. How many of us are going to a small town college? If you're doing it, I am really appreciating of you. Coffee on me. Sir, coffee on me for such people. Sir, coffee on me. But the problem here is, we are becoming so slave of this that we want to be good in social media, not in real media. We don't want to go to the real life. That's the first. Second is, sir, I'm part of the council, so I take this liberty to speak on this. Our curriculum has been designed by people who are PhDs, who are doctors, but not industrial experts. So what happens when they teach, they think from their intellectually arrived. And let's be very clear, India is jugaad. And we all have studied for examination. We all have studied for the examination because we wanted degree में A लिख जाए, नहीं तो पिताजी घर पे 2 थप्पड़ लगाएंगे. मैं तो पिटता था, I don't know about other people. So we all studied for the examination, but reality, how many of us has learned the wisdom? You remember Chanakya, what he once said? It's not about the information, it's about the wisdom you carry on your shoulder. And sir, I this after so long, I did a campus this year. I went to some, I don't want to name the colleges, but the premium AIMs. And trust me, I checked the talent from there and I did a small thing. I went to a small colleges. There was a difference of hardly 25%. Do you know why? Because they got the exposure more. They got Pratik Dubes of the world to come and talk to them in a regular intervals. And in these small towns, they didn't have that. Otherwise, if I nurture them, they are 10 times better than what I can. And they'll be retained there, they'll be cost effective, they can be groomed. वो सर कच्ची मिट्टी है, आप जैसा शेप चाहोगे वैसा शेप बन जाएगा. Now third point, which before I conclude. It is a time when academia has to change from industry and industry has to go to academia. Otherwise, tomorrow there'll be a brain drain, there'll be a shortage of skill. We all are talking about skill-based organization. No organization will be able to get the skill of tomorrow if we don't start it today. We are already late, by the way. We are already late. But if we don't start today, sorry, tomorrow is not coming for you people. It is going for some other world.
I'll just add to what Pratik mentioned that I think as an organization, we are a little ahead in the game. We have over 100 Atal Innovation Mission resources internally in the organization. They work on ground, not at the college level, I'm talking about the school level as well, where we are working and ensuring that we are building the talent for future. We have strategically partnered with the colleges in India, in the remotest of the area, and we are sponsoring their education right after third year or fourth year of education, and co-creating the curriculum with the universities to ensure that the talent is exclusively built for us and the industry as well. So I think there are some success stories as well in that area where the talent is getting built by the corporates, for the industry and for themselves. And I'm sure a lot of other companies are taking that initiative now to ensure that, the challenges what we face today, they are addressed by collaborating with the institutes on ground.
Can I just add to this? I'll talk about a recent collaboration Ericsson has done as part of the overall academia collaboration program. We've tied up with IIM Bodh Gaya for designing their curriculum, which is focused on business management. And as a result of that, we will be the one guiding them on what subjects to prioritize and hence offer them studentship, internship programs. So by the time they are postgraduates, they're almost ready for Ericsson kind of a job, and I think it's a win-win.
Deepti, over to you.
Yeah, so what they have said is right, but we have also done a tie-up with one of the university in UP. And once Pratik was saying, so I was also relating to it. We have picked up good, our industry, the corporate HODs. They are going there. They are teaching. They are teaching them for 15 to 20 days. They are residing in that university, and we are making sure that we are training them what we need. And at the end of the day, I'm happy to share that we have picked up 15 people from that particular university, and they're working with us as a full-timer. So now these things have started happening because, as everybody has said, retaining the talent itself is a big thing. It's not we are retaining them for our organization, but yes, at the end of the day, we should not forget it is a cost for us as well. One training, one resource takes us, at least this kind of industry where I come from, it is not taking lakhs, we are spending crore of the rupees. At the end of the day, of course, you need the ROI as well. Having said that, yes, so this is where we realize, rather than taking a talent from the metro cities, we go to tier 2, tier 3 cities, rather 3 cities, and at least 2-3 years they're sticking with the organization and they're benefiting, and of course then they are going ahead, and we are not even expecting them to serve more than 3 years. That is not the expectation. But having said that, like at least 3 years they are contributing, that itself is a enough thing for us. So yeah, so we are already doing that.
Thank you, Deepti. So this was one aspect that we spoke about academia. We had different opinions on that, and there is the prediction for the future. There'll be new set of industries which are coming up, the new challenges, and one of the challenges maybe as we look at AI these days, there are the things are developing so instantly and they're very fast in pace that how do we overcome those challenges, because people are getting redundant at very early stages in life. So Pratik ji, any thought on that?
So nothing is getting dented. Let me be very clear. I strongly oppose this point. I'll tell you two things. When computers invaded India, I was pretty young and I enjoyed the strike which railways did at Jantar Mantar. I still remember those days. I used to get a good dosa free of cost. So I used to go there for that dosa. But there was a strike there. And today, can anyone in this room imagine without a computers? First. Second, same thing. Only difference is we are faster now. On a very lighter note, one of my team members is here. Last time when I was checking the appraisals, I was shocked of my life. Everyone has done so fabulous, still have not got 5 out of 5. Then I went inside and then I realized it was ChatGPT. So I also learned, this time my boss will also face that same music, but I was into it because everyone wrote so beautifully. The generation has changed from that ticket line till this. Now, when this is coming, you know, only one thing which is getting out and where we all have to put is humanness. Because there are 3 elements for anything. I have written a paper on that. 3 elements: courage, intellect and humanness. That's all. Courage to take decision, humanness to feel for that decision, and intellect to be on the right decision. There are 3 things only, nothing else than that. Sir, I'm from pharma industry. I went for a lab test here in Gurgaon. They are doing everything on AI generated platform. I wanted to have a feel because I'm still learning, so I went there. I got a fabulous report there. But can I take the medicine without asking a doctor? Sir, यहाँ पे जितने बैठे हैं, कितना भी आपको रिपोर्ट fabulous दे दूं, आपको एक डॉक्टर जी हाँ ये ले लो. जब मेडिसिन की बात आती है तो हाँ या ये ले लो, ऐसी हर चीज में होगा. So it is only, again which I am saying it in a straight way, क्वेश्चन से ही पूछना आना है, अब सॉल्यूशन की चिंता छोड़ दो आप.
My point was a little different. It's not only about AI. The technology changes not just in AI. Say for example, the car that we used to have in our days, it used to have carburetors. Today you can't open the bonnet and do anything on your own. So the transition has happened. The people who are working on the carburetors or maybe MPFIs now, they are out of, they're not the ones who are doing the stuff right now. The talent when we are talking is not only the corporate talent. If there is a mechanic on the roadside who is working on easy technology, he's not able to touch your car now, you won't go to him. So these are also talent challenges. That is, how do we address that? Because at the end of it, earlier it used to be that, okay, if there was any fault in your vehicle or something, I would go to a roadside mechanic and, at least show them. Today I don't. I'm scared that whether he would goof up, it will cost me more. So these are the advancements which are making people redundant. That is what I want to say. AI is one thing that...
Sir, again, going even to that logic, let me take the example of your mechanic. I have got a 1963 model Fiat, still working. I have it as of now. I'm not able to get a good mechanic for that. Because people who were mechanic for Fiat, their kids have learned how to make Mahindra car. So, human beings are the most intelligent creation of the God, at the same time most laziest creation of the God, most idiot creation of the God. So all 3 things in a human being. So the moment you bring a new car, new technology, she'll spend crores of bucks. Sir, 15 minute आप रुको, उसका तोड़ मेरा आदमी आपको 15 मिनट में बता देगा. I drive BMW. When I went for a small fix up, the bill was somewhere near 5 lakh rupees. The same problem occurred. There was a neighbor Mistri, he came to me, he said, sir, kuch nahi, ye washer lagate hain. He charged me only 500 bucks, and that too I gave him as a gesture. Yeah, tune itna paisa bacha diya. Everyone is now intellectually. I again go to my old point. Ask the right question is the problem, not the solution.
So I'll take the question to Varun now.
No, it's all good. I think he has eloquently covered everything. And what you had mentioned about talent becoming redundant, I think that's not happening. There is no replacement of talent happening as well. It's all about upgradation, continuous learning in every job you look at, you know. So we work a lot on technology side. We have strategic programs, you know, where we provide, you know, learning opportunities to our resources, both permanent employees as well as gig workers, and keep them relevant. And these are available to our resources, you know, through our integrated LMS. They have to take those mandatory trainings. And, you know, while a lot of us will talk about that, you know, if it's an online training, people are just taking it as a tick mark. But what we have seen is if someone is really serious about upgradation and continuous learning, they would spend time in learning those skills and making sure that they're using it as a part of their next project. So I don't see a challenge, you know, when the technology is changing. It's just that we need to change ourselves, adapt to these changes happening at a rapid pace the way it's happening.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so just one thing, what he said is right, and one thing which I want to put it on table, it is called a re-engineering of the talent. The talent, you know, the job is there. It's AI is not taking the jobs away. It is like re-engineering. If, say, for example, you were talking about Fiat, you were talking about any other cars, anything. But there is a team called re-engineering team which works on the current car which has been launched, say might be 90, 70, 80 and everything. What is a new technology which is there, how we can replace that old technology with a new technology with the new skills. So that is called re-engineering. So that is what people are working on. Rather, AI is not taking the jobs away. That is a myth, I think. Yeah, he said
Let's
it
see.
right.
Let's wait for that. Yeah. So any questions for the panel? Yeah. Harmeet has to add on to the last question.
So I would say that there is fear of redundancy for sure. Whether that happens or not, it also depends on your environment or yourself. Learning is super easy nowadays. If you have money, you don't have money, you can afford certified programs or you cannot afford it. Learning is available on a click. And I think with reskilling, organizations are also focusing a lot. Like in Ericsson, we have critical skills upskilling targets. We have development goals, not only performance goals, and all that is monitored and tracked, right? So, and all that is to ensure that people are able to apply for mobility if their jobs are not relevant in the future. So as far as you're focusing on the right things at the right time, I don't think that will really be the reality.
So I think with this we can, you know, if some questions are there, there's somebody. Yeah, please go ahead.
So a little bit curious about the question which you raised, that everybody in your organization, thank you. Yeah. So everybody in your organization today is 5 out of 5 in terms of rating the performance. So how you as an HRN, so actually going to calibrate the next phase of the performance appraisal? Would like to hear from you.
Thank you for asking me this question. You know, sir, I again say I'm by mistake an HR guy, so don't take me literally. मैं गलती से HR में हूँ. Sir, इस कमरे में जितने बैठे हैं, आप किसी से भी बात कर लो जो सर्विस कर रहे हैं, उनको पता है कि साल खत्म होने के बाद मेरा इंक्रीमेंट आएगा. She'll say I get 10, she'll say I'll get 8, he'll say 16, but सबको पता आएगा. और now with the smart technology coming, everyone knows कितने परसेंट आएगा. There's a guy Abhishek, he takes loan basis कि मेरा नया इंक्रीमेंट इतने आने वाला है, and the banker will pay him because banker also knows कि तेरा क्या आने वाला है. So इंक्रीमेंट के हिसाब से PMS करना बंद कर दो. Sir, just give me 2 seconds. बंद कर दो. That's the reality of the present day. Now what is there? The other thing is, the moment you start linking your appraisals, your performance with the learning, with the goals, with the career aspiration, with the North Star which the person wants and which marries with the North Star of your organization. You have to just shift delete entire gamut of PMS with jargons or which whatever you people have made. That's 1. 2, the moment you shift delete it, start working on the needs of the person and needs of the organization. PMS should always be linked with the learnings and the things which he or she can carry with himself. That will be the tomorrow's PMS, and I'm telling you, we are designing it. Today morning, why I was coming here, the entire system has been designed in this pattern. Next year, my mankind will have a different PMS system. We are getting over of bell curve. We are getting over of bell curve. We are getting over of ratings. We are trying to change the dynamics of PMS. That's my personal view. I don't know how much I'll succeed, but I want to walk on that path.
Thank you.
Thank you
for this.
Thank you. And with this, it says time's up. And thanks a lot for being here with us. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very
Deepti,
much.
Thanks, Harmeet. Thanks, Prateek ji. Thanks,
Thank you.
Varun.
Mr. Rizvi, and a heartfelt thanks to all our esteemed panel members. Well, to acknowledge their dedication and contributions, we will now proceed with felicitation ceremony, for which I would like to invite on stage Dr. G.P. Rao. Let's have a big hand for Dr. G.P. Rao, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Ms. Deepti Mehta. Ms. Harmeet Kaur. Mr. Prateek Dubey. An applause for Mr. Varun Sachdeva. I request Mr. Sanjay to please join us here on the stage.